Man, I mean to tell you, the things I do for the folks on the internet.
Hey there folks, how you doing today? Welcome back to the channel. Please bear with any of the background racket that you might hear throughout this production. We are on location where life happens, and sometimes there's stuff going on out there that can be heard in here. It's thundering up a blue streak. We are in the middle of a real turd floater out there, folks. It is storming like nobody's business. Boy couldn't make it in this morning, so he asked me to take over, and here we are. Today's video is going to be one of his unfiltered, fans-only content videos, which, if you're not familiar with those, as I wasn't real familiar with it until he told me about the series, these are videos that the boy puts together just for the folks that watch all of the nonsense that he puts on here on this platform. It's his way of saying thanks to you. Now, if you are new to the concept and you haven't seen any of his UFO content before, feel free to stick around. We're going to have some fun today. Now, I, being Uncle Elmer, am just a fill-in host, so don't get too excited thinking you're going to see me every time. I'm not always here. But when I am, you can be sure you're going to get your money's worth. And take it from me, folks, these videos are free content on the internet, so keep that in mind as to the quality of what you should expect. He told me to make a video about everyday carry. Now, everyday carry is something I am passionate about. I always carry. I try to stay as prepared as I can. And so he told me to try to make it something about improving everyday carry. So I decided, well, the boy's probably on to something. So I was going to do a top 5 videos on the way your everyday carry sucks. That's right, you heard me. Talk like them kiddos talk. Yeah, your everyday carry probably ain't up to par, sir, ma'am. That's right. Okay, now that I'm done stepping on your toes, let me tell you how you're messing up. I got some stuff written down here. I will be consulting it, so just bear with me. Okay, number 5 on our list of ways your everyday carry is not up to par is that your carry ammo is probably too old. Oh, that stung a little bit, didn't it? I've been carrying these same Federal Hydra-Shocks for the past 10 years. Oh, look at you. Do they still work? Has the sweat and the corrosion gotten to them? Has that round that you keep chambering and rechambering that's on top of your magazine gotten pushed back to the point of where it's going to cause a malfunction or worse? Has it? Have you even thought about these things? Excuse me. That's right. What I suggest to you, all of you, is that the next time you take your everyday carry firearm out to the range to practice with it, to maintain your proficiency with it, you shoot up those precious little bullets that you've been carrying around in that thing for the past 2 presidential administrations. And you replace it with some new ammo. Yeah, it hurts. They're expensive. You're trusting your life to this thing. Would you drive your pickup truck down the interstate on a set of tires that you'd been driving on for 10 years? You probably would. We'll get off of that. All right, number 4 on our list. Stop carrying around a pocket full of keys. Good Lord, are you a high school janitor? Look, ain't nothing worse than getting to your vehicle or to your front door or to the door of your business establishment that you got to open at 4 in the morning and fumbling through a big pile of keys trying to find the one you need. Strip your keys that you carry in your pocket down to the ones that you really need today. If you have a bunch of other keys that you need to keep handy, put them somewhere where they're easily accessible, like maybe in the ashtray of your 87 Buick or somewhere like that. But don't carry that junk around in your pocket. If you gotta get somewhere quick, fast, and in a hurry, you don't need to be fumbling through your keys. On that note, carry the keys you need to carry with you. If you've got yourself one of them fancy little office jobs and you come in with the backpack over your shoulder and you put it in your cubicle, and then you go to lunch and an active shooter breaks out in the facility, or a fire alarm breaks out in the facility, or they evacuate the facility because of a natural gas leak, and you can't get back to your cubicle, how you gonna get home? Keep them keys that you need to get somewhere with you. The rest of them you can put to the side. Just don't lose them. All right, moving on. Number 3 on our list. Carry a couple $100 in the back of your wallet. Now, when I was a young feller, a wise man once told me, keep a little cash on you all the time. Back then, you could get by with $20 or $40. Today, that 20 or 40, thanks to our present situation in life, has turned into a couple $100. Go get yourself two $100 bills. Fold them up into a nice little square or rectangle. Stick them behind your driver's license. And don't use them for nothing unless you absolutely have to. And if you get into a position where you got to use them, replace them when you can. If you're at such a point in life that carrying around a couple $100 is too big of a burden for you to bear, probably doing something wrong. However, carry what you can, but ideally, a couple $100 would get you out of most situations that you're liable to find yourself in an emergency. I'll leave it at that. No, I won't. I'm going to tell you a story. Friend of mine, real good fella, had some folks come over and visit him. There was a storm. They lost power, so they decided to go into town and see if they could find a restaurant that was open for lunch. They drove around till they found one that was open, had cars around it, so they went inside, sit down, ordered up some food, sit down, was having a good meal, when one of them noticed a sign up by the cash register that said, cash only. So they looked around and, hey, get the waitress. They called the waitress over and asked the waitress, what's the deal with that sign that says cash only? And she's like, yeah, our credit card system is down, so we can't run a credit card here at the shop today. So we're only accepting cash. Well, all those folks were kind of sitting around looking at each other real dumb-like, because none of them had any cash on them, except for my old buddy, whose father raised him right, and had told him, keep a little cash on you. You might need it sometime. So he dug around in the back of his wallet, took out a couple $100, and saved the day. Took care of stuff. And you know what? Everybody else that was there probably realizes that if it hadn't been for him doing that, they'd have been in a heap of mess. Now, probably, realistically, one of them could have went and scrounged up some cash from somewhere, but you can't never tell. It's best just to be prepared to cover an unforeseen expense, I think. What do you think? All right, we'll get off of that one. Number 2 on our list is have a good quality flashlight. Carry a flashlight around with you. I got one right here somewhere. Carry a flashlight around with you. You may never know when you're going to need it. You're probably going to need it to fumble through all them keys you're carrying that I already told you about. But get yourself a good quality flashlight. You don't have to have the best one on the market. But carry something around that's going to work every time you need it. On that note, your flashlight is only as good as the batteries that are in it. So not only should you carry a good quality flashlight, make sure that you got some decent batteries in it, and that you keep them topped off. Replace them every couple of months, even if you're not using it all the time. But as soon as it crosses your mind, hey, I've been using this thing a little bit, swap it out and put a new set of batteries in it. You can take those old batteries and you can set them aside and you can use them on the flashlight you carry when you're working on the car in the garage or whatever, or feeding the critters out in the back, whatever. Somewhere where it doesn't matter if your battery goes dead in the middle of what you're doing. But if you're on the side of the road in the middle of the night trying to change a spare tire, you don't want your flashlight going dead when you're trying to keep it out there to illuminate your rear end, keep you from getting run over. I'm going to let that one go. All right. As the kids on TikTok are quick to point out, none of these top 5 lists are complete without an honorable mention. So today's honorable mention will be keep the tank on your automobile full. You heard me. If a tank of gas would last you all week long running back and forth to work, somewhere around the middle of your week when you stop at the Whataburger, pull into the gas station next door and top off your tank so that you're not sitting empty if something bad were to happen. Right now, here in East Texas, Montgomery County, San Jacinto County, Liberty County, all right here within about 15 minutes of each other, there are roads you can't get down because they are flooded out, there are bridges out, and everything else. We have been getting gully washers out here, and folks are having to divert around and go around by Jones's barn to get home from work or to get to work from home, etc., etc. With that in mind, running out of gas in a situation like that would be a real big pain in the neck. Whenever I am on a road trip, I make it my practice. Whenever I stop to pee, I top off my tank. Now, I know what you're saying. Well, Uncle Elmer, gas is 30 cents a gallon higher out here on the freeway. Whoop-de-doo. You're talking about $10 here, folks. Get over it. You wasted more than that on scratcher tickets this past week. Don't get me started on those. All right. Number 1 on our list, carry a snack. You heard me. Carry something around with you that you can eat. I'm not talking about a backpack full of MREs. No, I'm talking about a Snickers bar or a bag of beef jerky. Something in your car or in your backpack or in your pocket that you can consume to keep you going in the event something comes up that prevents you from eating on your normal schedule. Carry a snack. Now, I know this is only supposed to be a top 5 list with an honorable mention, but I couldn't squeeze it all into 5. So I've got another one for you. I'm not saying this one is any more important than the other ones, but I think it's just as important. And I'm going to show you what it is. Where'd it go? There it is. Carry with you. Now, get your mind out of the gutter. I'm not talking about a can of chewing tobacco, although this is a chewing tobacco can. I'm talking about what's inside of it. We made a video on here a couple of years ago, me and the boy did, on Uncle Elmer's EDC and its ways to make fire. That's right, fire. This little can right here is full of some fire starter that me and the boy made a couple of years ago. And if you open it up, you'll see not only do we have the fire starter in there, but we've got a little Bic lighter in there too, because having some tinder doesn't do you no good if you ain't got a way to light it up. Now, I know some of you guys are out there lighting fires with rocks or with bows and sticks, and that's cool. I'm glad you can do it. But in the 21st century, for $1, you can buy a Bic lighter, and then you ain't got to worry about it. Let's take a piece of this fire starter we made here. Let's just take a little piece of that out and see if it'll still burn. Oh, would you look at that? There she goes. That's right, folks. Carry around with you a way to make some fire. Well, That's all I got for you. I hope you got something out of this and you enjoyed the video. Let the boy know down below if you are happy with this content, if you want to see more of me, Uncle Elmer, or if you want to see him, or if you want to see somebody else. Their resources are limited around here. It's either going to be me or him. So take it for what it's worth, folks. It's free. We're glad you joined us. Until next time, take care and God bless.